Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. It is I, your boy, Tard Kent. I am the man of steel book, and I am here to entertainingly discuss for a few minutes the Shout Factory, Scream Factory August releases, which they have recently announced. It's been a few days since they made the announcement. I'm sorry, I've been busy enjoying my private swimming pool and lounging in the sun, and took a few days to pull my head out of my ass to record this. So, you will be entertained by this particular episode of Tard Kent. I of Man of Steel book. Can't say Tard more than once in the first 60 seconds of this video because YouTube doesn't like that. I wonder why they only show this to 36 people. So just sit back and let it happen, okay? Uh, Shout slash Scream Factory is they're doing a lot of things in August, some of which I approve of, others I will show more disdain for. Just stay tuned. First thing that I want to mention is something that I am a little bit happy about. I'm a little bit pleased with because it affects me personally, and that is the release or re-release, I should say, of the Hackers 4K Steelbook. I did not feel like going to Best Buy at 8 a.m. in order to fight over this one with other nerds. I didn't want to fight other nerds over this particular release, nor did I feel like paying $75 for it on eBay once it was gone. And it went pretty quickly out of Best Buy when this was a Best Buy exclusive. Once it disappeared pretty quickly. I kind of maybe misjudged a little bit. I thought I might have a little time, like this one might hang around a little bit. Like, tell me why Army of Darkness and They Live and The Fog stuck around Best Buy for so goddamn long. Those 4K steelbooks stuck around Best Buy for so long, and Hackers couldn't fucking hang on for a sale. I just wanted a sale. I wanted to pick Hackers up for like $24 instead of 32. So once it was gone, I was like, well, I guess, not a film that like I'm dying to have. I did see this one in the theaters when it was brand new with a buddy of mine in middle school. I don't know how we snuck into the Hackers because it had Angelina Jolie titties in it. Worth the price of admission alone. Movies were like it's fucking $5 back then for a matinee. You could go see a movie on a Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. for literally $5, and they weren't nice theaters like they are now. We're not talking about like RPX, IMAX, fucking butt kicker seats where you get to fucking lounge back and like lay perfectly flat in the middle of a fucking theater. These were a little bit more crowded, and there was definitely some jizz stains on the seats, but we didn't care because $5 movie was $5 movie. I mean, for $10, you got a movie, a popcorn, and a Coke. Anyway, I saw Hackers in the theaters because I'm an old man. But now my procrastination is paying off because I can get this shit brand new at retail thanks to Shout re-releasing it. They're doing the smart thing with the steelbooks. I'm gonna come back to that comment in a minute because Shout Factory, they are fucking smarter than everybody else on the steelbooks. But who knew that physical media distribution companies make more money when they're the ones selling an item rather than having a limited print run of 1,500 copies and then letting the eBay speculators run the secondary market. I mean, it makes no sense why you would do that. It makes no sense at all. But they're doing the smart thing. Shout Factory, they saw the eBay listings for $75 and they thought, why should this guy make $75? We could reissue this fucking steelbook and we could be making the money instead of fucking this guy on fucking eBay. Poltergeist 2 is getting released in 4K on 4K, a 4K version of Poltergeist 2. This is one we've all been waiting for. If you're anything like me, you've been waiting. I have actually 3 or 4 calendars upstairs, just every year, like calendar starting probably 2020 all the way through now, where I'm just marking the days. Each day that Poltergeist 2 4K was not announced, I was like crossing the day off. I was drawing a little frowny face with a tear coming out of the eye for every day that we didn't get a Poltergeist 2. This one is actually also notable film because the guy who played the creepy ass Reverend Henry Kane, he was actually so creepy ass because he had like stage 11 cancer at the time they were filming, and it was in his entire fucking body as the movie was filmed. So like he died like 5 minutes after getting back to his trailer. But I mean, he did, like, you guys think Christian Bale was like method and he went really far in preparing for The Machinist. Fuck no, fuck him, fuck The Machinist, because he ain't got shit on my fucking man's over here playing the Reverend Henry Kane. That guy got fucking stage 32 terminal everything cancer. That guy got ovarian cancer and he don't even got ovaries. He got ovarian cancer in his testes. That's how committed he was to fucking that role and looking just creepy as shit. He just looked fucking. You should buy the movie for that alone, okay? You owe that man money. Go buy that movie and support his legacy. There's something else that I would like to note right now. I'm going to make a humongous error. This is a tremendous blunder that I can see coming, and yet I can't avoid it. It's like a train stopping. I just can't. I have to rant about this. Uh, so Scream Factory released Poltergeist 2 on Blu-ray in early 2017. I think it was like January 2017. I'm having a stroke. That's how passionate I feel about this shit. It's like actually part of my brain is actually dying. And I don't even get to go be in a movie in my final moments where people could remember me at least. I could be in Poltergeist 27 in 4K. So 7 years later, right? 2017, Scream Factory put out the Blu-ray of Poltergeist 2. 7 years later, we're getting the 4K. Criterion is doing this each month with their prior Blu-ray releases, like Le Samurai. They released it on Blue several years ago, and now it's getting a 4K. Arrow is doing this. They released The Last Starfighter on Blu-ray in 2020. A mere 3 years later, Arrow came back and they released The Last Starfighter on 4K with the same slipcover art and everything. If you were holding a Blu-ray and a 4K of The Last Starfighter with the slipcovers, you wouldn't know the difference until you remove the slipcover to see which one's the Blu-ray and which one's the 4K. Let's see. In some cases, it's even different boutique labels doing it because they can't even like wait that long. So like Criterion released the domestic Blu-ray of Silence of the Lambs in 2018, and then Kino Lorber turns around and releases it on 4K here in the US in 2021. So just a couple years later, you got the 4K, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Couple years is the turnaround. That's the Cliff's Notes. I'm old enough to remember that some of these first double dips that happened once the DVD era kind of began, and how collectors felt about Criterion reissuing updated versions of DVDs like Seven Samurai. Like Seven Samurai, if you've seen the original release, that is what the original release looks like. That's the version I got in 1999 that is up on my bookcase still. Then a few years later, I want to say it was like 04, 05, Criterion puts this one out, and it's the same movie, still DVD format, and people were upset about that. Double dipping nowadays, though, I mean, fast forward 20 years, it's part of the landscape. Double dipping is part of this industry. It's just to be expected. Selling more movies is how companies like Shout and Criterion and Arrow stay in business, and issuing 4K upgrades to movies that they put out a few years ago sells more units, whether it's diehard fans that will buy every single release of a film they love because they want the latest transfer, or they want these disparate special features that might be on different discs, different releases, or it's holdouts like me for Poltergeist 2. I didn't buy Poltergeist 2 on Blu-ray a few years ago because I'm more focused on collecting 4Ks. I never really had any drive or desire to pick up an older Blu-ray of Poltergeist 2. But so you'll get the holdouts like me who will convert because, hey, 4K, everybody thinks it's going to be the terminal physical media format. I don't think it is, but, for the next several years at least, it's going to be. The 4K release, whether it's Poltergeist 2 or Le Samurai or fucking Seven Samurai got a 4K scan. They're doing 4K. I think actually they're doing 4K digital exhibitions, but fucking Criterion's going to announce that before the end of the year. They're putting out a 4K of Seven Samurai. So if you bought Seven Samurai on Blu-ray 6 years ago, dumb. Releasing Seven Samurai on 4K or Poltergeist 2 on 4K or whatever on 4K a few years after releasing the Blu-ray, it's going to bring in more revenue than if they only released the Blu-ray format of those films. These films have a massive back catalog, and they've been, Shout and Criterion especially have been going for years and years, decades. So, they have a lot of movies that they've released as DVDs that maybe got a Blu-ray upgrade that, getting that 4K upgrade is how these companies continue to make money. The business model practically requires companies to reissue their Blu-ray library on 4Ks as future releases. Physical media companies, big and small, small boutiques like, Deaf Crocodile or something tiny, big ones like fucking Warner Brothers, Paramount Pictures putting out Oppenheimer, making $1 billion. They've made untold fortunes off of releasing their back catalog of films on new physical media formats. It was true in 2002 when Casablanca came out on DVD for the first time, and It's true in 2024 when Poltergeist 2 is coming out on 4K now after having been released on Blu-ray previously and DVD probably 3 times before that. So it just is what it is. The moral of the story is if you miss a release of a movie on Blu-ray, just wait around. Don't pay crazy prices. Just wait around. You know what I mean? They'll put out another release in a couple of years and it'll be even better because it'll be a new transfer. It'll be upgraded special features. It'll have all the old shit plus some new shit. Just wait is what I'm saying. I see shit going online on eBay, insane prices because it's got a slip cover or something like that. What was I looking at? I was looking at something today. I think it was a Deaf Crocodile release, in fact, of um God, what was the movie? Fucking, it was one of these movies that they put out somewhat recently. I think it was a Russian film, Ilya, fucking one of these movies. And it was going, I mean, it was a movie that probably cost $30 if you bought it at retail with the slipcase. With the slipcase, it was going on eBay for 150 bucks. What I'm saying is you can do that if you want to spend 150 bucks on a single movie because you need the piece of cardboard. I'm a slipcase dude myself, so I get it. I understand, but also wait. I mean, some of the smaller release stuff like Deaf Crocodile, you might have to wait a little bit. Poltergeist 2 is a little bit bigger. You know, it's going to get like Samurai Criterion's a little bit bigger. They're going to be a little bit more up on the re-releases, but I'm telling you, just wait. Don't spend 150 bucks. Don't buy it on Blu-ray because the 4K is around the corner, right? Don't. They're going to release a Blu-ray. Just wait. Arrow did it with Heathers. Now they're releasing Heathers on 4K. And everybody who bought the Blu-ray 3 years ago, what are you going to do? You could sell the Blu-ray and buy the 4K. You could buy the 4K and have both of them, which is kind of dumb. Or you could just keep the Blu-ray and say, I don't need your fucking 4K. Fuck you, suck my dick. The choice is yours. Also coming out from Shout Factory is Delta Force in 4K. Man, old Chuck Norris has been having a nice little resurgence lately. This is not his first resurgence either. Back in the mid 2000s, there was that like short-lived trend for like a couple of months, couple of weeks, I don't know, making these like Chuck Norris jokes, like, you know, Chuck Norris drills oil wells with his dick and shit like that. I just, you know, he just has sex with the ground and fucking there you go. So 100-foot hole or whatever. I don't know. But all this Chuck Norris shit, like fucking he doesn't get cavities because his fucking teeth don't want to disappoint him. I don't know. It's just, it was kind of, I mean, in hindsight, it was kind of a dumb trend, but it was silly, but it was fun. But now 20 years later, he's like having another resurgence. I feel like a gang of his movies are coming out to 4K. Vinegar Syndrome just put out Invasion USA. People posting pictures of their package receiving Invasion USA on 4K, and that rhymes because it's gay and it's June, so it ought to be. But we got Delta Force on 4K now. So this is one of those great 80s Chuck Norris films where he has the full beard, right? As you can tell, I can appreciate a full beard if for no other reason than I am too lazy to shave. It really is. It's not that I feel like I look distinguished or I'm trying to cover up some gang tattoos or something like that. Actually have a huge scar going across my neck. You can't really see it on these videos, but I got a huge scar going across my neck. It really is about like 3.5, 4 inches long going across my neck. And that's why you don't join a Latino gang, y'all. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't buy the Blu-ray. Don't join a Latino gang. You won't wind up with a bunch of movies you need to upgrade and a giant scar across your fucking neck. After 1990, it's like the 90s just were not good to Chuck Norris, I believe, because he shaves the beard off. Yeah, he stayed fit, but he got kind of skinny. Like he got kind of like old man, like wiry, skinny, and he shaved the beard, but he kept a mustache. And honestly, if it wasn't Chuck Norris, he looked like he would be driving a van that said free candy on it. I mean, he looked like someone's like narc dad or something like that. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't as hip as when he had the beard and he was like some disaffected martial arts knowing Vietnam veteran. I think that's the Chuck Norris that we know and love. The 80s, Chuck Norris has a sense of nostalgia. And so does Delta Force. So if you don't buy Delta Force, psh, joke's on you, motherfucker. When it gets released on 8K, then you'll know. Then you'll know. I'm fucking Nostradamus reincarnated right here. My brain sees the future. Bill and Ted's bogus journey, not bonus journey, bogus journey, bogus journey. I really got to dial in how much fucking methamphetamine I have before I record these. I really got to like just get that in because like, you need to have a little bit, but obviously I've had too much. Look, Shout is re-releasing on 4K another movie that they put out 6 or 7 years ago on Blu-ray. 4K is nice. Buy this movie on 4K.
Oh, I like money.
That's a fucking movie we need on 4K, everybody. That movie, I'll take that movie on fucking 4K. Give me Idiocracy on 4K. Also getting released on 4K is Bill and Ted Face the Music. I haven't seen this movie, so I can't recommend it. I got a buddy who thinks it's good, but also his taste in movies is pretty shit. I personally have an aversion to sequels made 30 years later after literal decades of dormancy. If the movie needs a sequel and you have a good idea for it, you don't wait 30 fucking years to make it. On the other hand, if you wait 30 fucking years to make your sequel, your idea probably sucks and the movie probably didn't need a sequel. If you can go 30 fucking years of dormancy, do you think that movie needed a sequel? Were people breaking down the fucking walls for a sequel? I'm sure there were some fans out there like, wouldn't it be cool if we got a third Bill and Ted? But I mean, it wasn't like world hunger and fucking war and famine. Like, we got to fucking solve this Bill and Ted 3 issue. Like, we really need to fucking figure it out. It's like climate change. We're all going to fucking die. It's not that serious. The movie didn't need a sequel, okay? I'm going to try to get off of that. I'm going to try to like pull out of that topic before I go on another tangent. But I just think most movies do not need sequels. And I mean most movies. They almost never, almost no movie benefits from a sequel. There are a few exceptions, so don't blow me up in the comments, or do blow me up in the comments below. I don't call me whatever you want. I don't care. But almost no movie benefits from a sequel. And if you think a movie needs a sequel, 95% of the time you're wrong. You're wrong. It doesn't need a sequel. Very few times does a movie need a sequel. There are good sequels out there, but they are the exception, not the rule. 99% of sequels suck. 1% are good and necessary, and we needed them, and they're classics. You can tell me about them below if you want to, but I've probably already considered them in my brain without saying them because I'm running long enough on this video. 4K Bill and Ted Trilogy box set. The whole fucking Bill and Ted shebang is coming out in the box set that they had to wait 30 years to release because they hadn't made that third film yet. This is a set of all the movies together, and you should buy this set if you're fairly well convinced that there will not be a fourth Bill and Ted movie. Okay? But if you buy the set now and there's a fourth movie, shit, no good, no bueno, all right? You lost the game. They made a third Bill and Ted movie. That's obvious. But if you had told me 20 years ago, right, that Keanu Reeves was going to make a third Bill and Ted movie, I would have assaulted you with a frozen burrito. I probably would have put it in a sock so I could swing it at you, but I would have gone to prison as a felon for felony assault for beating you about the neck and head with a frozen burrito, probably in one of my work socks. That's how crazy I would have thought you were. Like, don't get near my family talking weird shit like that. I mean, look, it even sounds like Warner Brothers wants to make a fifth Matrix movie. So getting a fourth Bill and Ted film doesn't seem as insane to me right now as it would have 15 or 20 years ago. I'm not assaulting anybody over a fourth Bill and Ted movie. That's just what it is. So if you buy this set of 3 movies and they make a fourth movie, then you have brought dishonor upon your family. Hook, hook, you got to cut that belly open. So let that be known. Last Unicorn is coming out on 4K. Are they releasing any Blu-rays this month? I think it's all 4K. No, they're releasing one Blu-ray. Never mind. I'll take that back. Let me pull that right back in. I said something dumb and I'm not going to edit it out because that's my commitment to getting this released fast. The Last Unicorn in 4K. Finally, we got some oddball shit that I can get a boner for. This is a Rankin fucking Bass cartoon, like Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the shit me and my kids watch together every fucking Christmas time and sometimes in July, just randomly. As an adult, now I have come to appreciate just how cracked out Rankin Bass movies really are. This movie seems like the most cracked out of them all. Though I must say that looking at the Rankin Bass list of productions really does make it seem like these guys, like, all they did was just do a ton of drugs and make their fever dreams into animated weirdness, because they got a fucking weird list of movies, guys. Like, we've accepted them because, like, oh, Santa Claus is coming to town. That's classic. Frosty the Snowman. Like, everybody for the last 60 years has grown up watching that fucking shit. Yeah, it's true. But also look at the rest of the shit they made. They made, like, Rudolph's Christmas in July and fucking Peter Cottontail. Have you guys seen Peter Cottontail? I didn't see that till I was an adult, and I was way too sober to be sitting through that shit with my kids. I was like, what in the fuck is this shit you showing me, Evelyn? It's my 4-year-old. I was like, what are you making me watch with you? This is crazy. Daddy is sober. Yeah, the Last Unicorn looks crazy in a good way. It's got like a a odd amount of like really famous voice actors too. Look it up. Like it's wild. The voice actors in this bitch. Like Jeff Bridges in this shit. Young Jeff Bridges, 1982 Jeff Bridges, but that's all good. So not only is this one getting a 4K release, but there's going to be a Walmart exclusive 4K steelbook that I will fight a motherfucker over. So if you get in there and you get the last one in Maine, I'm fucking coming after you, dog. We're gonna arm wrestle over that shit. So I can't wait to eat edibles and show this one to my kids. It's gonna be good. Observe and Report is coming to Blu-ray. This is one of the two Blu-ray only releases. Not getting a 4K, so sorry. In 3 years, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna get a 4K in 3 years. I predict it. Okay. Remember back in the day when Seth Rogen had like this potential? He was kind of new on the scene, and we were thinking like, wow, Seth Rogen, like he's been in some good movies. Like, what's this guy gonna do? He's got potential. He was mostly pretty funny, or at least he was like funny adjacent enough that you might approach one of his films with like some hope that you might be entertained. This movie harkens back to those days of yore, 2009. You know, like that was just before he was some like 50-year-old stoner with no kids, no responsibilities, just basically like stopped developing somewhere around 17 and just kept that up at age 47. It's just fucking, it's crazy now. So this is being released to Blu-ray, like I said. I've clearly proven earlier that the 4K is going to come between 2026 and 2031. 2026 and 2031, which doesn't even really want to come out of my mouth because that sounds like the far future. That sounds like Isaac Asimov shit right there. I almost mispronounced Asimov. Look, I'm going to wait for the 4K on Observe and Report. Evil Dead from 2013, the 2013 remake of Evil Dead is getting a 4K steelbook. Scream Factory is pretty strategic about how they do their steelbook releases. I said earlier that I was going to touch on this again. A lot of smooth-brained distributors suffering from fetal alcohol syndrome release steelbooks at the same time as the standard release, the 4K or whatever, just to give the consumer like more options. You know, they're being consumer friendly. Idiots. Not Shout. Not Shout. Shout doesn't do that. Shout, those guys are playing 7D Sudoku in their sleep, bitches. Let me illuminate the Shout Factory recipe for riches. This is how they've made $1.5 billion. First step, release a standard Blu-ray. Make it pretty good. It's got to be a pretty good Blu-ray release. Put some special features on there, but release, boom, standard Blu-ray, Shout Select. Then you wait a year, right? Tick tock, wait a year. Then what you do is you release the exact same Blu-ray that you just released a year ago, but in a steelbook case. Nothing is different, except for now it's in a steelbook case. You just made a little bit more money. Wait 2 or 3 more years, okay? Then you release the 4K of the exact same movie. You could throw in one new special feature if you must. Make the transfer pretty decent. Obviously, you've got to entice the customer. But then you wait another year, and then you release that exact same 4K just in a steelbook case. So this is like fucking rinse and repeat. It's like Head and Shoulders, dog. Wash, rinse, repeat. Except when you repeat, it's with the fucking steelbook. It is genius. This is how you sell the same damn movie 4 damn times. Blu-ray steelbook, 4K steelbook. Do this with a new special feature every now and again across the top. And there you go. Motherfucker's gonna go buy that 4K steelbook of Evil Dead from 2013. It's another movie I haven't seen, and I still managed to talk about it for 5 minutes. Booyah! Pee-wee's Playhouse, the complete series, is coming to Blu-ray. I can appreciate the Pee-wee movies, especially the first one. I am a fan. I fucking love me some Elizabeth Daily, y'all. If y'all don't know, you better fucking get on the internet and go clackety-clack Elizabeth Daily. You better be listening to fucking One Way Love. Right as soon as you stop watching this. Watch to the end, motherfuckers. But then go listen to fucking One Way Love, dude. That song fucking slaps, especially this time of year. I can't imagine watching Pee-wee's Playhouse as an adult. Maybe I could make a case for showing it to my kids. Maybe. I don't really have any nostalgia for this series either. I don't believe that I've seen one single episode of this show at any point in my life, even as a child. I was just watching other shit. So I don't know, maybe that's the angle. Maybe this release is like for the people that want a hit of member berries, you know what I mean? I can understand that. I can appreciate that. I just don't feel it for this show because I just don't have the nostalgia. If this was Transformers on the other hand, I got the motherfucking nostalgia for that shit. Now here's the big one. All right, here's the one that we're really all here for, okay? So I appreciate you waiting for me to get to this one. I always believe in saving the best for last. Death to Smoochy is finally coming to motherfucking Blu-ray. This is the one we've been waiting for 20 fucking years. Look at this. Look at this. I got it right behind me. Look at this. I got it right behind me. If I could spell death. Look, it's all in the reflexes, baby. That's Jack Burton. My 2-year-old, I pointed at this shirt and I go, who is that? She goes, Lopan. My 2-year-old, she didn't say it. It was way cuter. It was like a 2-year-old says Lopan. Look at this. See this old copy of Death to Smoochy? See this old shit? See that? Look at that. It's still got the fucking clasp and the piece of cardboard in the front. Look at that. Look at that old shit. This is a 20-year-old DVD. And I did watch it the other day. I mean, not the other day. 2 or 3 months ago, I watched this. It still works. It didn't suffer from that Warner Brothers disc rot. But now I'm suffering from blurry-ass camera syndrome. Hello, autofocus. There we go. All right, so this motherfucker right here is all we've had for 20 fucking years. Blu-ray as a format has been a thing since 2006. I cannot believe it took 18 fucking years to get Death to Smoochy in high definition. I can't believe it. This has Robin fucking Williams. Robin the fuck Williams is in this movie. And he uses the same type of language I'm using right now. So you know I love this shit. I didn't know the F word until I saw Death to Smoochy.
You better grow eyes in the back of your fucking head, you horned piece of shit, because I'm not gonna sleep until worms are crawling up your foam rubber ass. I'm going on safari, motherfucker. Safari.
So if you don't buy Death to Smoochy in August on Blu-ray, then I hope you can get fucked by Rainbow Randolph himself. Booyah! Holler at me in the comments if you're buying Pee-wee's Playhouse box set. You weirdo. I'm going to keep you away from my children. And let me know why you want to waste your money like that. If you're just filthy rich, then I've got a Patreon that you should check out in the comments below, dog, because, you know, I got something for you. If you made it this far in the video, I love you. I love your face. I'm going to kiss you in the mouth because it's June, and I don't care. Peace.